Beef Bowls Outstanding Player, Ross Shafrath, and Zach Zenner. Questions?
Ross, can you just talk about the 4 turnovers you guys had tonight and improving on something you guys had trouble with?
Yeah, I think last time we were in here at home, you guys asked, what was one thing we need to work on, and taking the ball away was definitely that, and we were able to do a better job of that tonight, so that's definitely a plus, and we need to continue that through valley play.
Ross, you were responsible with 2 of those turnovers with the interceptions. Did you feel like you really needed to step up and kind of take that leadership role?
Yeah, I always feel like that. But, we were just in 4 both times, I think, and they tried and get that curl in there, and I was just in the right spot at the right time, so I was just able to make those plays tonight, and I'm sure a different time will be a different guy. So.
Ross, you guys had some opportunities to kind of pull away tonight, and the offense didn't cash in on them. For the defense, how did you guys kind of keep answering the bell? You get put in a lot of spots where you had to do that.
Yeah, we've been there a few times this season, and we just try to respond the best we can to adversity. And like I've said before, when we get our backs against the wall, that's when we're dangerous. So just keep staying positive and keeping the energy up, and we'll be all right.
This is a little different challenge than the other teams too, right? I mean, no sacks for you guys. You only give up 7 points. You got spread out a lot. What kind of adjustments did you guys have to make, and how did you feel like you kind of handled that?
It was definitely a different challenge. It's the first spread team we've played this year, and when you get spread out like that, it makes us a little more vulnerable to the run, which we have been good at this year. And last week Indiana State was able to complete a lot of 3-step on us, and so we really worked pretty pass heavy this week in defense, and I think that hurt us a little bit in the run game, but when you get spread out like that, sometimes that'll happen.
Zach, does this feel like a win or not? I mean, I'm sure you guys didn't play the way you wanted to.
I mean, it definitely feels like a win. At the end of the day, you gotta when you look at the scoreboard, the Jackrabbits won. In terms of offense, we know we can do a lot better. Really, we feel as an offense that we beat ourselves on the majority of those drives.
What do you think? What do you think? I know you're mostly involved with the run game, but you do pass stuff too. What do you think it is? It just hasn't quite been there.
Well, I mean, today, it was turnovers. I fumbled, and then we had a couple interceptions. And you can't just look at one guy in those interceptions. You got to look at the pass protection, the receivers. Everyone on offense is responsible for all the turnovers. So.
You set a Valley record tonight, the highest rushing total, earliest to 1,000 yards. Your thoughts on just the pace you've set here in the first 5 games, and I don't know, it seems like you are able to keep it up.
In terms of the yards, I've said it before, the yards will be something cool to look back on, but right now winning is the most important thing.
Ross, did it get chippy late? It seemed like very physical. Both teams had a lot of guys get hurt.
Yeah, it's always physical out there, and they're a good team. They might not have won a game yet, but they've played a tough schedule. And playing Kansas State and Louisville early on, those teams are still rated pretty high in Division I. So I definitely think that they're a good team, and they'll win some games. They're really close, I think.
Did you guys feel like you were prepared for that? Coach talked about that a week, but did you guys buy into that and therefore remain patient even though it was close throughout?
Yeah, we knew they were going to be a good team, and partly that was because we're going against the spread offense, which we don't go against a lot and have it this year. So we knew it was going to be a challenge, and thankfully we were able to step up at the end.
Zach, do you find that defenses are starting to key on you a little bit more when they see you coming into the game?
I don't know about coming into the game, but I do think that the linebackers were pretty downhill, when they saw, like a handoff, that thing. That's why play action started to work, I believe, a little bit more towards the end. But they were definitely downhill when they saw a run. And, whether it's me or Reggie, and I think they were just keying run.
Seemed like even though they were stacking about 8 or 9 guys in the box at several times throughout the game, it seemed like you were able to still get some positive yardage. Just looking at the stats, it looks like you were able to avoid any loss of yardage throughout the evening.
I mean, that comes with the offensive line taking care of the base guys, the down linemen, and then when they take care of those guys, when we get to the linebacker level, that prevents any major losses in the run game.
Zach, what's your hope for the bye week?
What's my hope?
Yeah, what's the plan? What do you hope? I mean, you're trying to accomplish something, whether it's rest or improve on something or whatever.
I mean, we're definitely gonna, watch the film and think about how to improve on this game, and then just preparing for the next one, as well as, letting the bodies rest a little bit.
And Ross, how about you? What do you think is going to be key for the defense in the off week?
Yeah, I'd say the same. We had a few injuries tonight. I don't know how bad or any of those are, but just getting healthy and getting our legs back under us and things like that. And then one of the things that we have been good at that we weren't as good at tonight was tackling. Keeping our feet under us and really working on the fundamentals in the off week, I think. And then we were ready to go for Western.
Zach, is it kind of a good feeling to go into the bye 4-1, and yet you guys know you haven't played close to sort of the not perfect football, but your best football?
I mean, obviously it's a good feeling to go into the bye week 4-1, and then at the same time, with what you said, we know that we can do better as an offense. I mean, that just leaves room, in practice, to keep going hard. We haven't played our best football yet, so we know we need to improve, and we're going to do that through tough practices.
Ross, is it going to be weird even to have a mid-season bye week? I think it's been since your freshman year that you've had that. Do you remember what that's like?
I don't really. I think it's going to be nice, though.
Anything else for you guys? All right, thank you, gentlemen.